Imagine if your favorite show was SpongeBob, and feeling adventurous, you decide to buy some official merchandise. However, because you're trying to save money, ultimately you decide to use eBay for your shopping. Eventually, the SpongeBob you ordered arrives, and everything seems fine at first, until you start hearing noises at night. Well, in today's video, I'll be telling you the story of someone online who thought they were buying authentic SpongeBob merchandise, but instead received something far more sinister. That being a modified SpongeBob toy containing a computer, microphone, and even a camera inside of it. This is the story of Angel's SpongeBob. Our story starts in 2016 on an old SpongeBob forum known as the Sponge Zone. Now, while this forum was mostly dedicated to things about the franchise, occasionally you'd find threads that didn't seem to relate to anything regarding the show. For example, a user we'll call Amanda would make a post to the forum talking about a weird noise she was hearing in her house. Along with the post, they attached a video showing off the creepy noise. Now, there were a variety of responses, many of which were entirely valid. Maybe it was some sort of carbon monoxide alarm, or the batteries for a smoke detector were low. Either way, the post went back and forth between testing theories and finding no results. That was until Amanda decided to reach out to their landlord and got the following response. "Hello, hope you're doing well. As for the noise you sent, nothing in the house we've installed should be making that sound. There's a chance it's something new, but it's most likely not on our end." With this in mind, users recommended that she begin to look into her own belongings. Following this, a second post would then be created. Amanda would post the following pictures along with the caption, "Can anyone identify these electronics?" The photo contained a now mutilated SpongeBob plushie along with a few strange looking circuit boards. According to her update, it was determined that the sound of the noise keeping her up at night was, weirdly enough, this SpongeBob, prompting her to rip open the toy and discover these parts. Several people would inform Amanda that what she was looking at were the components of a computer, a microphone, and most disturbing of all, a camera. What's even stranger is that in the process of gutting these electronics, Amanda claimed that the SpongeBob began to also play a laughing sound effect during its dissection. Now, after hearing this story, a majority of users lost faith in its honesty. Who would go through the trouble of creating some kind of creepy SpongeBob doll with its own camera and not bother to mute the sound effects of it? Well, for the few people online who still believe the story, one detail stood out in the photos that sparked a bit of intrigue. On the foot of the SpongeBob plush was a single word, Angel. Now at first this appears to be completely arbitrary, however readers were quick to point out the similarity between this signature to how the character Andy from Toy Story would also label his toys, simply by writing his name on the bottom of their foot. Because Angel isn't exactly the same as Amanda, questions surrounding the origin of the SpongeBob plush began to form. I found this particular one online, specifically on eBay. I've ordered a few used items on there before with no problems, so when I saw the SpongeBob listed for sale at $5, I kinda just bought it on a whim along with some other stuff. As for the Angel part, I assumed the previous owner had a kid who wrote on it. Okay, so with all this in mind, the story still seems a bit weird. However, now that we know that the SpongeBob came from eBay, we should be able to use that as a way to gain more information around the original owner, right? Well, this is where things start to get difficult. According to Amanda, the original seller either got banned off the platform or deleted their account. Something not very surprising considering the nature of what they were selling. What is interesting though is what Amanda did remember included a name. That name being Angela. So we know that Angela or Angel created this creepy SpongeBob camera, and we know that Amanda, the woman who bought it online, wasn't aware they were getting some sort of tracking device. But all of this begs the question, why would someone with the intent of stalking another person create a hidden camera that made noises, giving away the fact that it was a camera? And not only that, why would you write your name on it, incriminating yourself in the process? Well, what if I told you that Angela wasn't the original creator, and instead was a victim just like Amanda? In the hunt for more information regarding the original SpongeBob's electronics, a strangely familiar schematic would appear online, along with the post titled, "Would something like this be possible to power with a battery?" Now take a look at the handwriting. The letters, like the A's, the N's, the G's. Putting these together side by side, you can see a definitive resemblance to the way Angel was handwritten on the foot of the SpongeBob. Not only that, but the components mentioned also match the ones found by Amanda, specifically with the camera, the computer, and even the same battery. So needless to say, after finding this post, the user behind it, known as HRob95, immediately became a suspect. For those of you into digital literacy, you may have noticed that this username is a pretty bad one. Why? Because abbreviated usernames like these give away your personal information. If we sound out the name HRob95, adding spaces between each syllable, we get three main pieces of information. H, which is potentially a hidden first name, Rob, a shortened version of a last name like Robert, and finally we get the number 95. Since 95 isn't a day on the calendar, this number most likely refers to the birth year 1995, which means at the time of this story, H. Robert is a 20-year-old man. Granted, this is all speculation, but you'd be surprised how common usernames like these actually appear. In the meantime, we will give H. Robert a fake name, that being Harrison. With all of this coming to light, people began reaching out to Harrison, acting innocently in order to gain more information. Here's one of the earliest recorded conversations. "Hey, I'm a friend of Angela's and I think I found something of hers. Did you or her own a Spongebob with the name Angel written on the foot?" "Hello. Yeah, I wasn't aware she lost it. That was actually an anniversary gift I made her. Who is this? Maybe we can meet up and you can return it." "No, I'm sorry. A friend has it, but I lost track." "That's okay. I can find where it is. Thanks anyway." This conversation between Harrison and the anonymous user was an insane revelation. We learned that Harrison and Angela were not only dating, but also that this hidden camera Spongebob was an anniversary gift made specifically for her. Not only do we know that, but now there's a chance that Angela wasn't even aware of it being a camera in the first place. Sure, she was selling an anniversary gift, but I have a feeling their relationship probably didn't work out, which is why she innocently listed the toy online as discounted Spongebob merchandise. She was trying to get rid of this part of her previous relationship. But what about Harrison's final message? "That's okay, I can find where it is." What did he mean by this? Did he mean, "That's okay, I can ask Angela where it is"? Or, "That's okay, I installed a computer in it with a GPS, let me go pull up its location"? Needless to say, after hearing this update, Amanda wasted no time in dumping the electronics and finally disposing of the Spongebob once and for all. Of course, with the nature of this incident being public, other people started reaching out to HRob95, many of them being significantly less subtle than the conversation above. Following this barrage of messages, Harrison disappeared. After this, a photo began circulating that many speculated was him. Now, the sources for this photo are mainly based off posting history, so I take it with a grain of salt, but the majority consensus is that this is him. So what exactly is the story of this Spongebob? Well, as far as we know, Harrison created this hidden camera as a gift for his at-the-time girlfriend, Angela, either to stalk her when he wasn't around, or even potentially something more nefarious than that. Eventually, Angela and Harrison would break up, resulting in her listing the Spongebob online for Amanda to buy, without either of them realizing the danger of what they were in possession of. Finally, Amanda makes her posts online and realizes what she was living with, disposing of the Spongebob after his identity was revealed to be a camera. Now, after hearing all of this information, it may seem like everything's there. However, one mystery still remains that could potentially be the difference between this story being real or fake. If the Spongebob itself was a computer or camera filming and recording everything with Amanda and Angel, what happened to the SD card that would be responsible for holding all of the files for this computer? Not only is this physical piece of evidence extremely valuable, but finding it could prove to verify the entire story. With that being said, if the camera did record anything sensitive, it would make total sense for why its files haven't been made public. But anyway, until anything else comes out, I want to thank you to all of the members who've supported the channel. We're almost at 100k subscribers, and these videos would not be possible without your support. So with that being said, thank you all for watching.